So this week we're going to dive back into the little rat rod project again, and I've got some new parts that I went and acquired last weekend that I'm going to show you first, and after we go over those new parts, then we'll dive into some time lapses as I continue to construct the body of this little rat rod project. So let's go ahead and talk about the new parts I got for it. So here's what I have acquired for the little rat rod. Another set of doors. I found these online through Facebook Marketplace and made a little trip to go down to Medford area to acquire them from a guy. And now I have this extra set of doors, which is going to allow me to lengthen the body of the rat rod project. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is take the doors and chop them to match what I've done on the other set of doors over here. And I'm also in the process going to go ahead and use the pieces I cut out of the sides here to lengthen the actual size of the window by about 7 inches, because I'm doing a 7-inch chop. So I'm going to use some of the extra material I cut out of the height of the doors to elongate the windows. And they're not actually going to be used as a door. They're going to be basically used as a quarter panel. So that'll be the driver's side quarter panel, and this will become the passenger side quarter panel. And that's going to give me more interior space in the vehicle. And there's a little bit of old material on the back of these that I'm going to have to take apart. So you can see there's wood structure, and I'm not going to be needing any of that. And I definitely want to get that out of the way before I go cutting and welding. So I'm going to go ahead and start by removing all the old wood structure, because I'm not going to need it anymore. And then after I remove that wood structure, I'll chop them down and lengthen the windows and then install them on the car, and we'll see what it looks like. So let's go ahead and jump into a couple of time lapses and see what we got. So now that I've got those side doors cut down, lengthened and chopped, I went ahead and installed a couple of different body sections I had lying around, a rear window piece and some curved side paneling here. And now we have an approximate shape of the body of this little rat rod. However, now that I have this thing kind of put together and we can sort of step back and see it, I think what I'd like to do is actually change my design again a little bit. I want this front door to be longer so that there's a little bit easier access to get inside the vehicle. And I also really want to exaggerate the look of this car from above, kind of like an old casket shape, where it's narrow in the front, wide toward the rear, and then narrowest at the back. So What I'm going to go ahead and do now that I've got all this tack welded together is I'm going to go and take and cut it apart and do a slice on the front of this door to kind of save that pillar piece, and then take a section out of this rear quarter panel I just created and add that section to the front door to make the front door assembly longer. And I think that's going to really change the look of the car. Right now it seems a little bit too typical. Like you see a lot of these two-door sedan type rat rods really commonly, and I want this one to look really different. So I'm going to go ahead and change this door assembly out, and then we'll see what that looks like. Now that I've got those all cut and redesigned, we've got a really different looking car. So this gives it that nice small quarter window, and then a really nice long door, which will give more leg room so that I can get in and out of the vehicle. Being 6'1", it's a little awkward to get in and out of these tiny little cars. So having the longer door is going to be super convenient. And actually this new chop up design really makes it look a little bit more like a 5-window coupe or something of that nature. But it takes it a lot away from the traditional 2-door hot rod style, which I think is going to be super cool because that gives us something unique and different. The other thing that this clearly does is it really exaggerates that coffin look with the narrow to the front, widest almost at the back, and then really narrow in the rear again. And overall, it's just going to give this a really different look. And you can kind of see now what I was talking about earlier with the way I cut the doors. I just took basically an 11.5-inch section of that rear door and grafted in there with a little bit of a jigsaw cut here to make the full length of the window possible. You can kind of come around here again and see that look from above. There's going to be a little bit of extra work I'm going to have to do on the inside of the door frame here to make the pieces match, because now we got like a longer curve to it. So this edge piece toward the front section where I cut is sort of misshapen. So that'll have to be modified a little bit to match glass, or however I'm going to finish it off down the road. But overall, pretty slick look. Up here in the front, I've kind of got the motor or engine set up in the center of the hood area approximately. I'm probably going to have to go ahead and make a little like louver or scoop off the side of the hood here for clearance for that air cleaner and the carburetor, but I think that'll look pretty cool. Other than that scoop for the air cleaner and carb, the hood should be able to be completely enclosed with some louver pieces for the sides. And then over here, you can see in the corner, I've got an old hood that I'm going to cut up to make the hood for this project. So we're coming right along now. And now that I've got a really good clear picture of how the overall shape of the car is going to be, I can go ahead and start to make bigger plans and do a little bit more finishing work. What I want to do is do like a bevel roof design where it kind of comes up at an angle, maybe about 3 or 4 inches, with a slant inward all the way around the roof perimeter, except for the front where the windshield will be a little bit taller than the side glass is going to be. And then after that beveled component, I'll go ahead and do a curved roof across the top of that. And that's going to do a couple of things. It's going to, again, tie into that casket / coffin look. And it's also going to create more headroom for me, which, like I said earlier, being 6'1", it's a little bit of a challenge to get into these little cars like this, but I'm going to figure out a way to make it work. And should look pretty cool while I'm doing it. So now I've got all those parts and pieces tacked back together again. I think that's going to do it for this week. Next time, I'm hoping to start working on the roof sections and continue to kind of sketch out the panels of the body and make it look a little bit more complete. It's been a minute since I put a video up, and that's mostly because this time of year I'm always working on my writing. I have a new book that's coming out here in the next few weeks, so I've been super busy trying to get all that done. It's the Harvey Havoc series that I've been writing in. The 6th book, this one's called A Crimson Carol. It's a Christmas story. So here, not too long from now, if you're interested in such a thing or any of the other Harvey Havoc stories, you can go ahead and look those up on your favorite book supplier and get a hold of them. And then I'll make an announcement when I actually get this 6th book ready. I'm hoping for it to be out just before Christmas for the holiday season. So beyond that, it's been a lot of fun this time, and I'm really excited about the direction that this car is going and looking forward to seeing what I'm going to be doing soon with it. I really wanted to challenge myself with this one to build something unusual and different, but still in that rat rod genre. So let's go ahead and we'll wrap this one up, and I hope you guys have a good one, and we'll check in next time. And until then, have fun out there.